In a small town in Australia, a family pauses their trip to fill up the tank of their RV. Peter forces his stepdaughter Bella and his son Samuel to go on a walk to stretch their legs. Bella ends up at the local fair and meets Dennis, an artist selling his sketches. Bella is impressed by his work, but they're interrupted by a cop, who kicks Dennis out because he doesn't have a permit for a stall. Meanwhile, Vanessa meets with her boyfriend Jackson to tell him she's pregnant. Jackson is very excited and shares the news with his teammates from the rugby team. Suddenly, a screeching noise hurts everyone's ears and Vanessa realizes it comes from her car speakers, so she turns off the engine. In the evening, the rugby match begins and most people in town go to watch it. It's clear that there's some tension between players Jackson and Matt. Peter's family is still around because they can't find Bella, so he tells Samuel and his wife Jenny to wait at the RV while he looks around. Eventually he finds Bella watching the rugby match and scolds her for not spending time with the family, but Bella won't listen. Suddenly the power at the stadium goes out and explosions can be heard in the distance as colorful lights appear in the sky. The yellow lights move closer and reveal to be alien ships, which open fire all over the small town. People run away in panic, but not everyone makes it and soon there are dead victims. Bella tries to escape but is pushed to the ground. Thankfully Matt's brother-in-law Marcus sees her and runs to help her. They barely get to move before Bella is found by her dad, so Marcus is left alone. At that moment the aliens themselves land on Earth and they open fire on the townspeople, moving on foot while the ships in the air continue to provide backup. They also capture some humans and drag them away by the hair. Matt's wife Amelia sees that her mom is being kidnapped and wants to help her, but it's too dangerous, so Matt pulls her away to go help Marcus. Some guys try throwing things at the aliens, but random objects are nothing against the armor and the aliens just keep on shooting. The cops try opening fire too, to no avail. As explosions go off all over the place, Bella and Peter make it to their RV. Bella notices Marcus and his family trying to find cover and calls them over. While the group runs to hide inside the RV, Peter is worried because Samuel and Jenny still aren't back and even considers looking for them. However, Matt points out they need to go before they get killed. At the same time a shot hits the top of the RV, making his point. Cars are exploding nearby and Amelia sees Jackson and Vanessa, so she calls them to get in the RV too while another team member gets killed. Jackson goes back to check on his friend but it's too late and Vanessa drags him away. Once everyone is aboard, Peter ignores the bleeding person at the window and drives off. He has to dodge tons of explosions, flames, running people, and collapsing stands, but eventually the RV leaves town and crosses the countryside. Soon a spaceship starts following them, but thankfully the Air Force finally appears and shoots the spaceship down. Matt gets out of the RV to take a closer look but doesn't find any bodies, meaning the ship was a drone. At that moment they see lights approaching and get scared, but it's just a truck with Arnold and Dennis, who knows of a place where to hide. The vehicles leave together and Dennis guides them to an abandoned timber mill in the forest. The group settles down for the night and agrees to decide what to do in the morning. The next morning, the group discovers a huge spacecraft hovering above the area. An argument ensues on how to proceed, during which it's revealed Peter was in Hale for 7 years and was only released a month ago. Some of the guys want to leave, but they agree to stay one more day when Matt mentions he'll go to town to see if they can find their families. Dennis and Amelia go to town with Matt and they start looking around for supplies, quickly hiding when the spaceship flies by. Once it's gone, they keep moving and discover that the aliens are rounding up all the prisoners they took. The trio follows them and finds all the prisoners behind a laser gate that burns those that touch it. Amelia asks about her mother and leans she's already been moved away to a factory. At that moment the aliens appear, so the trio has to run away and hides in the tall grass while watching how a huge structure lands on top of the town. Back in the house, the mood is getting tense, so Peter reveals he has a gun to keep everyone quiet. At that moment the trio comes back and explains the aliens are taking humans into their factory as if they were livestock, which indicates they are here to stay. Suddenly they see a light outside and realize the aliens followed the trio when they ran back. Everyone rushes to hide as an alien comes inside and starts searching the house. Peter opens fire on it from behind, however his bullets don't even scratch the armor. The alien is about to shoot back, so Matt tackles it and starts fighting it after disarming it, only to be easily overpowered. Vanessa grabs the alien's gun and shoots it, saving Matt just in time. At the same time another alien reaches through the walls and grabs Dennis, trying to choke him. Arnold runs over and pulls at the alien's arm, causing the wall and Dennis to fall down with the alien. The others come out and hold the alien down while trying to beat it up, but a crowbar isn't enough. Peter asks them to hold his head out and once the alien's neck is exposed, he shoots it there to kill it. Afterward they put the alien body in the truck and Matt takes its helmet to try it on. It turns out the helmets pick up anything alive, meaning a human is essentially invisible if they hide among plants. The guys that know how to shoot teach the rest of the group how to do so, that way they can use the guns from the 2 aliens they killed. By hiding in the forest, the group waits for aliens to come by and shoots them from afar, effectively bringing down their numbers. The more aliens they kill, the more guns they gather, allowing them to start attacking containers carrying human prisoners to save them. Many of these survivors join their fight as well and a community forms in the forest, where people work together to survive. As time passes, Bella starts falling for Dennis. However, the huge spaceship never leaves town. One day, the aliens poison the water, so the community is forced to move to higher ground. By the time the aliens find their camp, everyone is already gone. The war against the aliens never stops and both sides often lose people in battle, but the humans always persevere thanks to their tactic of hiding among the plants. Hoping to intimidate the aliens, the humans begin displaying the heads of their defeated enemies on spikes and bodies are hung from trees. 8 months later, Amelia and Matt are running through a field to escape from some alien spaceships. Suddenly they hear a noise and discover a wounded woman named Chloe aiming a gun at them. They explain they're here to help and calm her down, which helps Chloe share her experience. The aliens experimented on her and half the prisoners, while the other half is being forced to work planning alien food. Chloe stole a glowing device before she escaped and gives it to Amelia together with the gun. At that moment an alien reaches through the plants and captures Chloe, so the couple has no choice but to run. Another alien jumps out and grabs Matt by the neck, however it isn't wearing his helmet so Amelia can hit it in the face and make it drop Matt. The couple keeps running and reunites with a team that is getting explosives ready. Soon the alien outpost blows up, bringing another victory for the humans. Before the group leaves, Amelia notices that the aliens are helping each other evacuate. Afterward the group returns to the camp and learns that Jackson's team captured an alien, who was brought as a prisoner to get some information. Peter and Amelia scold Bella and Marius for risking their lives just to capture an alien, but the teens are tired of being treated as kids. When Matt mentions that the aliens are experimenting on humans, Peter starts beating the prisoner up with such anger that the others have to stop him. Moments later, Amelia shows the alien the device she got from Chloe. The alien's finger activates it and it reveals a hologram, which details how the aliens have been watching Earth for centuries. Suddenly the device is turned off by Matt and a frustrated Amelia rushes out of the tent. Meanwhile Dennis shows Bella that he's burning all his cash since it doesn't have value in the current world. Inspired by his philosophy, Bella throws her phone into the fire too. Then Dennis gives her a portrait he made of her and the duo ends up seeking a private spot to do the dirty. Back to Matt, he tells the others what he saw in the hologram and Peter decides it's time to kill the prisoner. Jackson protests because he still thinks they can use it for information, but he's just pushed aside and Peter beats the alien up to death with unleashed fury. Sometime later, Matt announces that they're going back to the factory to rescue the remaining prisoners. Jackson is going although Vanessa would prefer him to stay since the baby is coming soon. At the same time, Amelia leaves the camp alone and finds a farm where the aliens are keeping humans as slave workers. She carefully sneaks around and steals a crop before running into the forest, where she's blinded by a light. Back at the camp, Peter finds the drawings Dennis did of Bella and threatens him for showing interest in his daughter. The conversation is interrupted when Vanessa starts feeling contractions, so Peter takes her to a tent while Dennis rushes to get Jackson. He finds the team and gives them the news, causing Jackson to immediately run back. This gives away their position and the aliens open fire on them. A gunfight ensues and the human team tries to hide, but many of their guys quickly get wounded including Matt. Marcus doesn't give up and keeps on shooting back, trying to buy time. Suddenly a spaceship appears at the camp, thanks to the tracker in the dead alien's armor. As the fire starts destroying their home and killing people, Peter, Bella, and other adults take Vanessa to the middle of the forest, where she keeps on screaming as she gives birth. A survivor thinks this will get the aliens' attention and grabs a tool to knock Vanessa out, but Peter stops him. Both men start fighting in the mud and after lots of struggle, Peter ends up killing the guy. Meanwhile Bella helps Vanessa give birth to a beautiful baby girl, who Vanessa names Allison before passing out. Bella notices there's lots of blood coming out of Vanessa and Peter rushes to do CPR, but it's too late and Vanessa dies of blood loss. At that moment, the Australian army arrives and starts killing aliens to rescue both Matt's team and the few survivors left in camp. In just a few minutes, the soldiers take control of the area and the humans are safe. Jackson manages to reach the forest and clings to Vanessa's body as he apologizes for not being there for her. Afterward the army takes the survivors away in their trucks. Major Davis explains they heard about a resistance group in the forest and that's what they came. Apparently Matt's team is seen as heroes and inspired the soldiers to keep fighting. By the time they make it to the base, Matt is still unconscious so he's left at the infirmary. The others bury all the bodies and after taking a minute to grieve, Peter announces he wants to go back to find Jenny and Samuel. Amelia stops him and promises they'll go to the factory later when they're better prepared. Davis overhears this and takes them to see Colonel Grant, who shares what they know. The aliens have some kind of biological weapon, probably a toxin or pathogen designed to wipe humanity out. Intel indicates the weapon has been moved to Sydney and the military is planning to attack to retrieve it, but they need a distraction. Grant asks Amelia's group to go with Davis and attack the factory to be that distraction, which should go smoothly since they know the territory. Most of the group agrees to help, but Jackson quits. After saying goodbye to Matt, Amelia joins Davis and a few soldiers together with most of her team. Arnold wants to come but he can't because of his broken arm. As the group makes their way to the small town, they find too many aliens patrolling the roads. They open fire to create smoke as a cover and take a detour to the field to hide among the crops. Eventually they find the factory and see all the people being forced to work outside. A woman tries to escape, only to immediately be shot down. Among the workers, Peter sees Samuel and Jenny. Back at the base, Grant gets a worrisome report. The Air Force is having trouble fighting the aliens in Sydney because there are more ships than expected. Another report informs her that the aliens are fortifying their strongholds in town, which makes Grant realize it's been a trap all along. The weapon was never moved, it's still in town waiting for the resistance to end them. Grant tells Jackson everything and explains she can't send more soldiers because it would be fighting a lost battle. A desperate Jackson runs to the infirmary and throws water at Matt to inform him of the situation. Matt agrees they'll help, and before leaving, Jackson asks Arnold to take care of his daughter. After Jackson and Matt leave in a car, the soldiers see a red smoke that means the aliens have found them. Soon a gunfight begins as the creatures start advancing, killing any person that dares to fight back. At the same time in town, Davis's group starts running through the farm and the aliens open fire on them, so a gunfight begins here as well. Amelia falls and for a second has trouble hearing, but seeing the others fight inspires her to keep going. Nearby, Matt hears the explosions and worries about Amelia, but Jackson reminds him their priority is to find the bioweapon. The duo sneaks inside the factory and immediately shoots down the alien handling the control panel. As the prisoners panic, another alien fires at them, so Jackson shoots back while Matt tries to use the computer. He can't understand it, so in the end he shoots the control panel down before guiding the prisoners out. Jackson brings down the alien, then he sets up explosives all over the factory. Outside, Davis's team continues to fight against the guards, but things are starting to get difficult when the aliens bring out a special cannon. Meanwhile, Matt comes across two more aliens and shoots the first one, but he runs out of bullets and has to hit the other to knock it down. Next he uses Chloe's device on the computer and learns that the aliens left their planet because it became a wasteland. The bioweapon is just standing there on the table and Matt grabs it, only to be attacked by the alien that woke up. Matt distracts him by threatening to break the bioweapon and manages to knock it down again. At that moment an alien that can speak English appears with a few guards, telling Matt to drop the weapon. However, Matt threatens to break it instead, so the guards step back. The alien tells him that its people have learned from their mistake and won't destroy another planet, which is exactly what humans are doing to Earth. At that moment Jackson opens fire and Matt uses the distraction to run away. At the farm and the base, humans are getting overpowered and multiple people are hurt. Thankfully they manage to call for backup and the Air Force arrives just in time to retaliate. The spaceships get shot down and the aliens on the ground get bombed, slowly bringing back hope for human to win this fight. Davis uses the chance to attack the alien handling the cannon, only to be quickly overpowered and thrown on the ground. This is still enough of an opening for the slaves to rise up and join the fight even though they aren't armed. Chaos ensues on the farm and when the alien gets distracted, Davis gets on the cannon and kills it. Inside the factory, Matt manages to find a place to hide and discovers he's bleeding. He uses a radio to contact Amelia and tells her he'll stop the aliens with the explosives, but he'll die in the process. Amelia cries and they exchange words of love before going back to the fight. At that moment the aliens come after him, so Matt shoots at them to distract them before throwing the bioweapon at Jackson. Unfortunately, when Jackson jumps, he's shot down. Since Vanessa is gone, Jackson decides he'll detonate the explosives, so Matt grabs the bioweapon and starts running again. People keep dying all over the farm and the military base. Inside the factory, Jackson shoots at the aliens to buy time for Matt and eventually he detonates the explosives, making the factory go down in a huge explosion. Seeing this, the aliens surrender, and Peter and Bella can finally reunite with Jenny and Samuel. Amelia and Marcus stare at the explosion in tears, thinking Matt is gone. Later at the base, Grant announces the team in Sydney also won, so humans are starting to gain back some lands. At that moment Amelia sees the bioweapon being passed by and discovers Matt is alive. They have a warm reunion, but they also have to tell Arnold and the baby that Jackson is gone. Matt tells Amelia what he saw in the computer, so Amelia approaches an alien prisoner and cuts the ropes on its hands. Then she offers her hand, saying they should work together. The alien agrees to shake it, hoping for a better future for both races. Matt, Amelia, and most of their team then leaves with the military, ready to keep on fighting in other parts of the world. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.